The Battlefield franchise has gone on for many years. This first-person franchise has touched many different eras of history, some fiction, some non-fiction, and it really has cemented itself as one of the mainstays in the FPS genre. And while Call of Duty is doing whatever the hell Call of Duty is, Battlefield seems to be coming back to the realistic setting with Battlefield 6. Now, in the last few years, Battlefield really has had a downfall, especially with the last game, 2042, which is not the first futuristic game in the Battlefield series. There actually was Battlefield 2142 all the way back in 2006. But the latest addition to the futuristic setting definitely almost tanked the series. But after getting my hands on this Battlefield 6 beta for a weekend, it definitely looks like it's going in the right direction. There are still some things I think that need to change, and of course I'm comparing these to some of the best games like Battlefield 1 and 4, which is a lot to live up to because I'd say those games are damn near perfect. But we'll see if Battlefield 6 can revive the series after that disappointing previous game. Now, a big draw to this game is that they're coming back to the modern setting. It doesn't even have to be modern, just somewhat realistic. I think my favorite game in this franchise is actually Battlefield 1, which is set in World War I. But any kind of grounded, realistic setting is kind of what Battlefield players are more expecting. Now, I'm not quite too sure if the old futuristic Battlefield game that I mentioned earlier got quite the negative reception back in the day. I definitely wasn't playing Battlefield back in 2006. I was probably watching Monster House or Happy Feet or something. Call of Duty Finest Hour, I don't know. But the fans of the series definitely seemed to hate it this time around. And it wasn't even just that, it was the class system that they changed, and an overall horrible launch with almost no destruction in the game, which we will touch on later. All of these things are what Battlefield 6 is trying to bring back, which leads us to our next section. Now, this game doesn't exactly feel like the old Battlefields. It has its modern improvements and upgrades. But there are some moments in this game that really bring you back, especially with the close quarters combat, debris flying everywhere, you barely even know what you're shooting at, medics that'll run right by you like they don't see you and they didn't pick the medic class. Brings back all those great memories. And some of the atmosphere on the maps is just insane. Still not as good as Battlefield 1. I'll keep saying that. Battlefield 1 is the bar, but it's up there. They're heading in the right direction. At least with the maps that we got in the beta. I haven't seen the New York map. I don't think they had it in the beta. So I'm sure once they add that, it'll give some Modern Warfare campaign vibe. The gunplay in this game feels pretty good, especially once you add some of those attachments. You definitely need the attachments in this one, or else your gun will be shaking around like a pirate's hand without rum. It almost feels a little bit more responsive than the previous game, which we'll see if by release if it feels too much like Call of Duty. At least the kill time isn't insanely short. But with all this praise that I'm giving it, we do have to get to the critiques at some time. The UI in this game is kind of a mess. Doesn't really look all that appealing, and it seems like it's made for controller, but people that use controller say it's not even that great. It basically just looks like Call of Duty's design, and they said, oh, let's put it in our game. With the overly complicated attachments menu. I mean, at first glance, you could honestly mistake it for Warzone. It just makes it look bland and stale. We're kind of tired of the tech overlay and tiny text UI in the modern games, and I'm not sure who over there in those AAA companies keeps greenlighting these. We basically need some style back in the menus, like Battlefield 4. Now, is this something they'll fix before release? I'm not sure, but it would add a lot if they did. Now, this game is bringing back the destruction, which I think is the most missed in the Battlefield series. They've slowly been taking it away over the years, but in this game, there's plenty of buildings you can topple to the ground. And it's not really like old Battlefields where you die instantly. You actually have a chance to run out while it's falling, which makes for some great gameplay. It almost feels like you're playing a trailer sometimes, especially when you're following a tank on the main road and the building next to you collapses. Dust flying everywhere you can barely see. Feels like a damn campaign mission sometimes. Now, of course, after you've played about 100 matches, it'll stop impressing you as much, but the main gameplay beyond that is very good too, which is what I think kept the old ones alive and will hopefully keep this one alive when they release it. Now, unlike most modern launches, I'm looking at Oblivion Remastered. This game actually launched up and with a few tweaks of the settings was running pretty smooth. Now, coming from a guy who's running on a budget computer, I'll put my specs up. I'm actually surprised the game ran as well as it did. And I've heard from console players that it's running pretty smooth too. They haven't even had to put it in performance mode. Now, one thing I did run into is I could not run the game with VSync, at least not decently. So I guess if you have a mid to low level card, don't turn on VSync, which is usually a general rule, but I don't know, it seems like it's more of a factor in this game. But other than that, it ran pretty well. I mean, my PC was screaming at me the whole time. It sounded like I had an industrial warehouse going in here, California crypto mining center running. But other than the burning plastic smell, I think it ran pretty damn well. Now, if you've ever played Operation Hurt Locker from Battlefield 4, or the OG Nuketown map on Black Ops 1, or the 20 releases since then you will really like this game, at least the maps that I played. Half the time, there's smoke everywhere. I'm in some crammed corridor with 8 players behind me and 10 enemies on the other side of the wall, either blindly throwing grenades or blindly firing into the smoke. Basically, the gameplay that made me fall in love with Battlefield back in the day. Now, I have heard some discussion that some people think it's too high intensity, but coming from someone who used to play Nuketown all night, I'm perfectly fine with it. But I do also realize that Battlefield has had a lot of open-ended maps, we'll say, in their history, so some of those fans are probably wanting some more of that. Which I'm sure this game will end up having at least a couple maps like that. Basically comes down to your playstyle. I mean, there are a lot of decent sniping spots, so it's not like it's total Stalingrad urban combat, but like I said, about 80% of the game was, just not as cold. Now, while it's quite not like the old games with the guns feeling really snappy, they sure got the high-intensity, close quarters parts of the old games done well. And of course, all your explosive attachments and everything that you love from Battlefield. I do think this is a good direction for the series, bringing it back to some modern combat or even historical combat. It's clear that this series doesn't really support the futuristic look unless it's maybe some spin-off game. And you gotta make sure to bring in the damn destruction and crazy epic scenes. I haven't quite seen a skyscraper fall down, but I've seen a lot of small ones fall. They gotta fix that UI though, like I talked about earlier. It really is terrible. Don't know why the industry decided to go that way. But overall, I'm actually pretty surprised by how impressed I am with this game. The last Battlefield game I played was Battlefield 5, which was actually an okay game, but it was definitely the start of the downfall. But with what I saw this weekend from the beta, I'm definitely pretty hyped. Not enough to pre-order it though. We don't go that far. Now the beta does open again this week, so I'll probably make another video after that one, just to see if a lot of these thoughts hold up, and hopefully they give us some new maps to play on that one. From the few maps that I did play, this might just be the game that bounces it back. But that was it for the Battlefield 6 video. I probably will end up getting this game even though I said I won't pre-order it. I'll just wait till it releases, I guess. I already get to play it for free, so what's the point of a pre-order? But in all seriousness, I actually am impressed that they listened to fans, added back a lot of features that we asked for. It seems like they want Prime Battlefield as much as us, probably because they know money will come in if it is. But if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. We're almost at 20K. After being back from my 2-year hiatus, we might actually hit that milestone now. Also, go ahead and leave in the comments your thoughts on the beta, because I'm pretty sure you played it. Damn near everyone was on in the whole world. I guess other than that, I'll see you on the next one, man.